The Joe Rogan Experience.
You know,
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh is all about an acid trip.
No, they say that about everything.
The ride.
Come on.
Go on the ride. Yeah, something
The
about
ride?
Yeah, the ride at Disneyland.
That sounds like the worst ride of all time.
It's basically an acid trip. I remember one of the times I did it. I went through Disneyland high as fuck, and I was on the ride. I was like, "Oh, this is Winnie the Pooh's. He's on acid. Like there's all these visuals, and everything becomes psychedelic, and the colors are weird.
Really?
Yeah. See if you can
I
get
don't
a
know.
video of the Winnie the Pooh ride. No, I'm telling you.
Alice in Wonderland, I'll get. All right, there's mushrooms, there's talking cats and shit.
No, something happens during the ride, and you go like Winnie the Pooh goes into Dreamland.
Oh, I don't
And
know
then when
about
he goes into
Dreamland.
Dreamland, you're basically on acid. You're going through an
All right.
acid trip.
Just
Yeah.
feels like he's mellow. He's eating honey. He's got no pants. Doesn't feel acidy.
Well, watch this. See,
Oh,
here's the Winnie the
okay.
Pooh ride.
This is a Disney World?
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
This is out here. So
Okay.
you go through, everything's normal.
All right.
And then as you're going
trippy.
through, not really. This is just pretty.
Okay.
Everything's lights, and yeah, you're on this little fucking thing, and you're in your little roller coaster ride. And oh, here's Winnie, and he's
right.
floating around with a balloon. It's kind of a cool ride. You know what was great when
colors.
my daughters were really young? They
Uh-huh.
liked this. Oh, so pretty.
Very pretty.
And you're going through, and there's Eeyore, and then there's that other pig. I don't know who the fuck
Piglet.
that is. Piglet. And so then you go through, a bunch of shit happens, and give me a little fast forward here because it's going to be boring.
Yeah, this is the worst trip ever.
Isn't the LSD honey? Isn't that like a way?
I think
people-
that's what it is. Well, there's that Nepal honey, that psychedelic honey. Maybe that's what it is. Give me a little fast forward.
It is a little trippy.
So something
what was
that's
that?
it. That's the trip. So right there. So what happens before that trip? Find out what happens right before that, Jamie. Something happens. Yeah, see, because he's floating around. Watch. So Winnie the Pooh is sitting there, and all of a sudden he floats out of his head. And look, he's
right.
floating.
All right.
Like he's fucking tripping balls. And then as the thing goes, it goes black, and then you see Winnie floating, and then boom, you're in psychedelic land. Everything is weird and whacked out.
Yeah.
And there's Jack-in-the-Box heads with big tongues, and everything
melting.
is neon psychedelic colors, and the world's
Sure.
melting. And it's honey, and honey spelled phonetically correctly.
I see it now. It's got a little,
Yeah.
what's that, Fear and Loathing.
It's DMT. This is like a DMT trip. That's what it's like. Like all these psychedelic things you're seeing, this is about as close to creating some sort of a psychedelic hallucinogenic trip
Right.
in a kid's ride as you can get away with without getting arrested.
See, I thought you meant the actual cartoon and story. Was,
No.
But this I see.
Yeah, it's like they're doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why is he tripping balls? Why is he
This is
floating through the
hilarious.
air?
You're a millionaire, and this is where you spend your time.
Oh, that's how I work.
Just reminded me. I didn't show it to you yet. There's a VR. I don't think it's a game, but I think it's like a VR experience. Like they have multiple of those, but it's an ayahuasca trip.
Ooh.
And I think I'll show you the like.
Bring it
little-
on, J-Mo.
What's interesting that you're saying this is that Terrence McKenna actually predicted that you could recreate in the future with virtual reality a psychedelic trip, and it would have the same exact effect as a psychedelic trip because it would be able to show you the same visuals. You know, you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there used to be, you know what phone freaking was? Do you remember phone freaking? There was a way that you could use a public payphone, and you had a device that would make a noise. Because a public payphone, right, you'd press a button like beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Well, you would hold a thing up to the phone, and it would go, and it would send a signal through sound, and the phone would just open up for you so you could use it.
Oh, no quarter.
And you could no quarter, and you would just start calling people.
Oh, cool.
And it was done somehow or another through sound. Like you would mimic the sound the phone would make ordinarily. And so it tricked whatever was on the other end that was waiting for the signal that was coming from those beep, beep, beep things. Is this it here? Ayahuasca.
Oh, this is exciting because I've always wanted to do it. Have you done it?
I have done DMT. I have not done ayahuasca, but this looks a lot like DMT.
You've done DMT? You never mentioned it. I'm joking.
Yeah,
Ew.
there it is. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, they're eventually going to be able to nail this and
Oh,
make
yeah.
it exactly like what you'd experience.